Patron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. If this is your first time here, I am the big fella Scruff with an over-obsession at coffee and a love of the charts. And hopefully that love of the charts will show you trading in the real world, because this is what I do for a living. And I post videos pretty much every single day, and it's always in the moment. And then on a weekend do coffee with Scruff and a live stream sort of Q&A, if we call it that. So if that sounds good and you like trading and you want to be a little bit more involved and you get value out of the content that you see today, do consider subscribing and smash the like to motivate me to do more. Right. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? Well, it's just gone 11 o'clock at night and this is UK time, guys. So I'm going to be trading the Asian session. And I know the first question in your head is, well, if you can trade the London session because you live in the UK and the New York session, why on earth would you be staying up and trading the Asian session? Well, that's a good question, considering I start work about 6:30 in the morning, moderating a small group. And it's because of that group I'm doing it. I genuinely want to help the guys move forward. And one of them, who I have a lot of time for, the little boy wonder Yanis, so a little salute to him, who is smashing it at the moment. And if you haven't come across him, go find the Conscious Day Trader. I'll drop a link in the comments so you can find it easy. He's doing fantastic results. But Yanis and his young family, so a little salute to Jen and little baby Leo, are actually off living the dream, and he's gone off to live in Bali. And obviously the time shift is coming into play. So what I said I would do is I'll look at the Asian session, see if we can find some common ground and some pairs to trade or some products to trade. That was where the idea came from. And here we are. But also within the group, there's a number of guys that live in Australia and they live on the other side of the planet to me. This is the time they trade. And I want to give those guys value as well. So that's what we're going to do. So let's jump on the screens and let's have a little look at a few parameters. Now, this is something I was trading earlier on this evening. Is it any good this time of night? It's all right. Still got a half decent spread, and it still kind of moves the US tech in the middle of the night. But I have already traded it. I mean, I've got nothing running now, got no orders in. And if you've been following the channel, you'll have seen me do all of this. So I've had a good day. I don't really need to stress myself too much tonight. But let's do it anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of the products off. And we're just going to drop in things that are half decent. So how do you find the products? Well, the first thing I'll do is I'll look at the indices and I'll look for products that I think will move tonight. This is one of them. Okay. So it's the US tech. Now what I'm also doing when I'm flicking this forward is having a look to see what the shape of the candles and everything are. Now this is quite a good market as well. The trouble with the Nikkei is it's quite an expensive market. All right, but we're still going to look at it. And the next one is the Aussie 200, which is here. Okay. Now this one doesn't exactly light the world on fire, but you can get a few pips out of it. All right. So we've got three indices we can look at. Okay. What about Forex? What's that like this time of night? Well, what I'm looking for is markets that are open. So we know JP will be open. So that's a central bank. So we can have a look at that. Let's have a look, see what else we've got. Euro JP. It's a bit of a slow plotter, but we'll have a little look at it. See if there's anything there. What else can we look at? Pound JP. Okay. So that's that lot. What else have we got? Well, we've got the Aussies. Well, there's obviously the favourite, which is AUD, USD. Let's have a look, see what else we've got. Got the Aussie JPY, which would also lend itself to the New Zealand JPY. Okay. And then obviously the crossbreed between them two is the Aussie New Zealand, which is there. All right. All right. So now what do I do? Well, now I need to have a look, see what kind of spreads on these things. So we've just looked at that. That one's got 2. This one has 5. So that's pretty darn steep, considering I don't think it has a huge ATR on it. Let's have a little look. So look at the ATR. It's about 59.60. So we're going to discount that one. What's this one like? Well, this one has a spread of 2, so that's fine. This one 4.4. Kind of ATRs on this bad boy then. Let's have a little look. I'm going to get rid of that as well. It's not too clever. 3.3, we can live with that. Aussie dollar should be all right this time of night. 1.7. Pound JP. That's pretty high for this time of night. It's currently 6.6. So this has to move some. However, this does have a good size ATR on it. If I just drop this to a daily, I'll be able to show you that. ATR. And this is all preliminary work, guys, just to get an idea. There we go. So it's 133. So that can shift. All right. What's this one like? It's about 4. That's not bad. That one should be fine. USJP. Yeah, that's fine. Aussie 200 is 1. And then we know this one can shift as well. Oh, that's pretty high. That's 15. So let's have a little look, see what the ATR is on this bad boy, because it might be a little bit out of whack for what we're after. But we'll have a look. Well, and again, it does 280, so that's a mover. Right, so we've got a basket of products here. Right, what's the next process? How do we start working out what we're going to trade? Well, it's not as difficult as it looks. Drop it down to the hourly and let's start having a look at this thing. All right. Well, we've got a big surge here. So that could be something that's potential. What about this one? See what this is up to. It's a bit jagged, it's pushing. Not as clean, not really as nice, so we're going to get rid of that. This one, hourly. Nice surge, nice structure, pull up, fairly, pushing down, so we'll keep that. Euro, drop this back to an hour. What's happening here? Again, nice surge, push, failure, that's not bad. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah. Now this one's been in my eye shot most of the day, and I think there's a good opportunity on that. That is probably the best opportunity I've seen out of these. Why? Because it's sustained, that's relatively flat, plenty of room to push up. Aussie. Again, that's a good opportunity by the looks of things. And then we've got this bad boy, which I've already traded up. And it looks like it could be a good opportunity to come back down again. All right. So I think we'll start with this one. We're going to trade probably multiple assets as we go. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is start working things out. I want to have a look at the strengths of this lot as well, to be honest. So let's have a look. Now I'll just revamp this for this session, and I've also dropped it into the Discord so the guys can see exactly what I'm up to. You know, they can see which products are moving, which is good, and it's actually pulled out the Aussie dollar is a good contender. All right, so Aussie dollar swapping direction, so it's been down, it's coming up. What's happening here? The dollar is strong, Aussie is relatively weak. Let's have a look. That's lost ground, and that's slowing down from yesterday, because yesterday that was pretty high. Right, now when you look at a strength like this, and it doesn't matter how you do it, whether you use FinViz, investing.com, I work it out myself. If something is incredibly strong, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to continue that way. And if something's incredibly weak, doesn't mean to say it's going to go lower either. What it means is they become good value or overbought. So that could actually be selling off while that buys up. So you've got to be a bit careful with that. And then you want to be looking to see if there's any movement on this side. You don't want it static. So here, that's pushing down, but that's moving. It's moving a lot. So that'll put eyes onto it. Likewise, JP. JP is moving a lot. It'll put eyes on it. Okay. So there could be some movement tonight. So let's have a look. Let's put some parameters into this. I just want to have a look to see what the structures of the market are. Okay. So if we do a retracement, see on the daily there's a solid move there, and the price is here, so that gives us two trap levels. Put one here, so I can see that point. Easy. I can also see down here. Okay, make that one the same. Right, so we trap between 2 points, 2 points of attraction. What else can we see? Well, that, all of that is engulfed in this, and it's kind of ranging slightly. Let's drop this down to 4 hours so I can see a bit more into it. Well, in the 4 hour, there's a strong drive here. Now, I'm only using fibs because I want to do this relatively quickly. Put that there. Let me just switch all of this on, because I want to keep an eye on the other markets as well as we go. Bear with me half a second. Right, okay. That's it. Okay. So that's up, push down. Other markets are fine. Let me draw a fib onto this, because I want to see what's happening. Well, it's come down to 50, it's gone back to the 38, and it's stalling. Okay, so I can live with that. So that 50 is quite a marker to keep half an eye on. Right, look at the anchor. Right, okay. Now this, I'm going to do the same thing because I can see it's pivoting around at 50. I'm going to pull that down to the lowest point, and again it's marrying up. Now I can also tighten this up, because for all the move went there, if if I want to tighten, I can tighten it into this section and pull it up slightly, because that's just a wick. So let me show you what I mean. So the base of the move was there and it started here, just like so. So that tightens everything up based on this move. Oh bugger, sorry, that's it back. Right, what happens when you tighten it up? Well, we can see the ratios of that drop. So it thumps down, and I can put some exits and target points in here, or entry exits rather, which are going to be these. Okay, just drop these onto there, and what we can see, it's gone up to the 50%. Again, key pivot point, and it's failed it, and it's pushed away, and it's tried to go back, and it's failing again. All right, so there could be an opportunity between that point and that point, because it's now trapped. Okay, and what do I mean by trapped? Well, there's an arena from that level to that level. These are good target areas for that to go backwards and forwards on. Take this down into 15 minutes. Right, let's have a little look, shall we? Okay, definitely strong drive, fail, back to this level. This could be a good point to buy, sell it rather, into this. Why? Well, it's an overextended candle, power shift candle. Now, if you bear with me, I'll explain what a power shift is. Now, a power shift is where there's a single set of criteria. In other words, there's just buyer. The pressure for buying is a lot more than selling, which creates this. Now, there is a buyer and seller on either side, so eventually the sellers are going to take over because the buying interest will run out. Well, it has. Here, you can see it. There's where the sellers came in, slammed it back to this level. They tried to come in, and then the exhaustion of the buyers can be seen here because there isn't anything left. You know, they've exhausted out. Sellers are coming back in. They're trying here, but it's not exactly strong moving. Right, drop this down to 5 minutes, and now we can see it, right? Well, now let's have a little look at another fib. Now, our criteria is 23 to get in. There's your entry point here. If you count 5 candles back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it shows you the logical point, and it's there. That 23, and then you come down into your targets. There's your 50, there's your 61. So we're going to drop a quick order onto that. Just like so. Just drop that there. We'll just base of that candle. We'll put that down into probably about the 38. You can even target onto the 50, which is kind of here, which is brushing the tops of that, giving you this. So round it off to like a 20 pip target or something. Well, yeah, close enough. That'll do. Right. So we're happy with that. I can live with that. It's well targeted and it's well thought out. So what we're going to do over the next few minutes, we'll let that one run. And while it's running, I'll analyze a couple of other markets. If I think they're good enough, we'll start dropping them into here. I'll come back to you and I'll explain what I'm doing with them and why I'm doing it. But we'll see if we can get a few quid out of this tonight. All right. Okay, guys, so we're in the US tech. I am very tired tonight, by the way, guys, because like I say, I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning, and I've got to be back at it again at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. So when you see tomorrow's video, I'll probably be absolutely ghost. But I promised I would do it, and here we are. I've just been working out some strengths and what have you on some other products. And what I'm looking at is this basket here. So what it's pulled out are these ones here. They're all reasonably okay. A couple of them are just 10 pip targets. And then there's this one here. It's a little bit indecisive, but it's a good trade as well. So I'll be looking at these as I put each one into order. If they go to order, I'll put it on the screen so you can see it. The premise, what I'll be looking at, is very similar to what I was doing here. So if I look at, say, the Aussie dollar, this one, and I take this down to an hourly, just sort of widen this up so you can see what it is that I'm looking at. This one has a good chance to be going into market first, because what we can see is this drop. It's a colossal drop. If I put a fib onto it on the hourly, just the same as what I did on the other one, it's here. Now it's already been to the 23, and the ideal situation is it holds above it. However, what it's done is it's pushed up, it's closed above, it's then come down, but then it's failed to go any further here, and it's pushing this way. Okay, well, if that's the case, I can start drilling into this a little bit closer. Here, we now have another sustained drive, so it's a fib inside a fib. I can see the drive here. There's the punch. There's our order, our entry point, just here. And then we can trail it up. So what we can do, I'll be looking to place an order here once I see some signs of this, and then we'll watch to see if it'll push up. And then where's it going to push up to? Into this. There's a massive power shift. It'll look to find this. Okay, if I just draw a quick line in just so I can kind of give you an illustration. That's the top of that and the start of that structure point. Pull that through, we've got a massive target there, good target. So if I only want 10-15 pips, I'm easily going to find that in amongst this lot, but I need to watch what's going on here first. Drop this to 5 minutes, and then I can start seeing how this is forming. And as you can see, as it's pushing down, it's higher each time. So here is a good point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe it's even just underneath here. But we'll watch it. We'll see how it gets on. And I'll drop that in when it triggers. But in the meantime, we're going to be looking at this. What else have we got? We've got USJPY, which is here. So again, let's have a little look. Widen this up. A similar situation. It's pushed up, pushed down, found the level, screamed up, stalled on a level and failing, so this could easily come back to here. So again, we're looking for signs as to why it would come back down. Well, there we are. Scream. Look at the greens, they're getting smaller, 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 but the reds are getting bigger, bigger, bigger. That tells you there's an opportunity this way. Might get a good 5 pips out of it or something like that. There we go. There's the collapse. Up, big chunky red. Small green, big red. Small green, bigger, bigger, bigger red. Tail at the top, good opportunity to push down. What else have we got? Done the pound. We do this one. It's not really doing anything for me, so I'm just going to discount that one for tonight. It's very expensive as well. So I think we've got a good play on this. We discounted the euro because it wasn't very didn't show any signs of being really quick. So we've got this, which we've looked at. Let's have a look at this indicator. Similar situation. Want to see that come up to here. Drop this into an hourly. Kind of see it. It's meandering, but it's not doing a lot. So keep sort of an eye on it. But it's a buy if I want to take this. This seems to be the one that's more interesting. I just need to see this. So I'll either follow that down and then come in. But that's it, I guess. That's it. All right. So what we'll do, I'll watch them. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 products. So we'll see if we can get some money out of at least 2 of them. All right. Catch you in a bit. Okay guys, it's really late. It's coming up to 1:20 in the morning. I should be able to see the time there. 1:15 candle. I'm knackered. I've got to be up in a few hours, so I'm going to call it a night. However, this is set up. It's in play, so I'm just going to leave it to run. And that's one of the beauties of trading as well. You should be able to walk away from your trade. You should never be frightened of them. Now, if it had gone to net positive, I'd have probably have killed it off, just so I don't have to think about it and then look at it again tomorrow. However, it's just grinding away, and the chances are it'll spike up a little bit later, maybe in an hour or so. And I don't want to sit through it. So I'm just going to let it crack on. It's got its targets in places. That's all that's running now. Put an extra couple of positions in. There's no orders. And then there you go. That's the day's work. I can live with that. I'm quite happy with it. And if it comes and knocks me out, well, it's not going to take all of that off me. It's only going to take a little bit. So happy days. Right, I'll catch you tomorrow and we'll see where it's up to. Okay, morning guys. Currently 7:15. Had a bit of a lie in because I had a bit of a late night, obviously. And I'm going to have a kind of an easy day today. Don't think I'll do a lot this morning. But let's have a look, see what happened last night. It's over. Well, there's nothing there. But it did actually blast up to where we wanted it to go, as you can see. And there's nothing here. So there's nothing running, no orders. And I pulled the target in just because I wanted it to cash out. And there you go. So that was all of yesterday and a little bit of last night, which pretty much paid my salary for today. You know, because that's like let's say 175. Oh, it has paid my salary. So happy days. So what's the moral of the story here? Really doesn't matter when you trade. You can trade when you like, how you like, as long as you have a plan, you stick to it, and you understand why you're going to do it. Now this was kind of done on fibs and key points of attraction, which is kind of how I trade anyway. There are a little bit more to it than that, because you've got to read the market fully. And I like to do a top-down approach from the very top to the very bottom. But the principle was to figure out, can you trade at night? And the answer is yes. And the best market, funny enough, was USJPY. So that's that. So I'm going to call it a day. If you're stuck, I'm very easy found. Drop down in the description. See all my contact details. I do answer every comment personally. And as always, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.